If you're in your little dungeon cave elf/gnome laboratory playing with this, you're a sick freak. Now join the damn club and let's hear what you're doing.
He's like, I'm getting told off now.
Yeah, I got it. Everyone wants to hear me. You have to open that link in the browser and then capture it the way you capture YouTube. And then select copyright. You might have to click go on that page. Although if you can hear it, it's going.
Okay. People can see Luke playing, but they can't hear him playing. Only you and I can hear him playing. So we're trying to figure that out right now. At one point, I think I did hear it on the phone, but for some reason now,
is it on our end?
It's probably on our end. It's routed to the Roadcaster, and I don't know why people can't hear it. It's so weird.
And it sounds so good.
Yeah. Yeah, Crazy Rabbit was like, are we supposed to be hearing that?
Okay. We'll buy Marilyn in a little bit of time, and we'll just keep playing for a little bit here.
I speak and the people in the chat hear my voice? Because you guys are missing awesome jam.
Yes, they are. We can hear your voice, but they just can't hear the jam.
Well, technical difficulty will work out at a later date.
We're probably going to have to refigure this out, but they're missing something special here.
Oh. I mean, running through some scales pretty nicely.
If we could just have figured that, I don't understand why everybody else can come in here and we can hear them just fine. The moment Luke Stark appears, everything wants to go to live shit.
Well, so actually, I think what the times you were like messing with like Robbie and stuff, they were sending you their audio through their microphone audio stream, like through StreamYard. And I'm not set up to do that, so I sent you a link that's a feed that I'm throwing out to that URL on the internet. Right. And if you open that in a browser, you should be able to route that into the same way you play a YouTube video. But if it's not working, it's something we'll figure out later.
Yeah, it's so weird because we were hearing it just fine.
And then I heard it come through the phone. Like I literally heard it. I don't know if people in the chat heard it. They should have heard it. But then it disappeared after that.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah. God damn it. Damn it to Jane Goodall.
It's all good.
Okay, let me get a drone going here for some background.
Okay.
Well, it sounded good on our end.
Okay. Good for mine because I could hear you guys fine. So I was just
wow.
We could hear you like
with it.
It was balanced just perfect. We could hear you. So I imagine something was working there or we wouldn't be able to hear you, correct? Because
it's that damn Rodecaster.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I shouldn't shit on the Rodecaster. Rode makes great stuff. I have a bunch of their microphones.
Yeah, except for the Rodecaster Pro 2. It's fine.
Yeah, it's so
fine.
Annoying.
They're not listening to this conversation, Luke. I almost 100% guarantee you.
That's fine. That's fine.
You want to know how I know, Luke? Watch this. Fuck you, Rodecaster Pro 2.
Wait, what's that? I just got an email from Rodecaster.
The assassins are on their way.
Yes. Yeah. Recon said it perfect. He said, probably the issue is some kind of thing of some sort.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to line that out to be pretty accurate, Recon.
Yeah.
Let me get my laptop so I can see Luke. Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. And I'm not watching the stream chat, so I'm just looking at your chat and the StreamYard chat.
Okay.
So if anyone makes jokes at my expense, you can just not tell me and I'll never know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, you don't want to see the jokes coming. Is that it?
I don't think I can watch two things at once. I like seeing you guys here. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
I'll get it.
I mean, I do have quite the face there, Luke.
You do.
Just going to put it out there. A little bit of conceitedness never killed anybody. Just ask Prince.
If you could just hold the bass at your groin as though you were playing it, that'd be awesome.
And straddle it.
Yeah,
like thrust.
Let's just get the dick jokes out there early.
Yeah, let's get them out there real quick and just thrust. I'm going to thrust the whole show.
We gave you the green light.
Oh, jeez.
You may now commence the dick punching.
Not the rabbit.
It's funny, wherever we go, I swear, Rabbit knows how to, I literally hunted him down and found him at Recon, and I brought him back to Fred's, and I said, Rabbit, they're talking about you. And he says, hold on, Recon. Gotta go sort some shit out.
River X is new to the family. And
nice guy.
So when he's in here, he's just amazed about how tight knit everyone is.
And he showed up to
He's like,
Grace's
wait,
thing
they're
too.
all over here. Now
Yeah.
some of them are over here, and
Yeah.
some are
Yeah.
over here.
Well, and he's doing the Christmas countdown, and that's soft spot in my heart, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and that jam he did today, that was nice. I don't know if anybody
Whatever,
got a
wherever you
chance to
want.
hear it, but it was a pretty nice jam.
I already have some questions. I told everybody that Luke was coming on, and if they had questions to send them. So I already have
Okay.
3 for
Sure.
Luke.
And don't ask him shit you can ask him on his own fucking show, okay? This is going to be a deep dive into Luke Stark.
It's 7 inches.
Okay,
Yes.
then that's good. That's good.
I mean-
technically, all you need is 5.5.
Yeah. And I got questions too. I mean, you're my protagonist. I'm your protagonist. I don't know. How's it go if I go, I'm Luke Stark?
And I'm Kent Spong.
You're doing some weird Philip K. Dick sci-fi cloning kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. The names just fit like these proper newscasters, you know?
Yeah.
Like they just fit. I can see these characters sitting side by side, shooting the shit while Karen's out molesting some sort of third world country feline.
Gracie's first question is, Luke, when did you start presenting the news with Kent Spong? Isn't the distance a bit of an impediment?
Yeah, totally. Well, we met at Anderson Cooper's bachelor party, and
There you go.
ever since then we've just been friends.
Yeah.
Wait, are you
Wait,
serious?
what? No.
No.
Okay.
See?
God damn it,
See,
Tracker
look,
Jacket
you
Anna
need-
has.
You see?
You need to
Messed you see
stop.
what's going on, Luke? You see?
Oh,
Because
my God.
you motherfuckers are so squared away with your lives
Oh,
that
my
I don't know you to be anything else but
Jeez.
damn stand-up citizens. And really, what you are goddamn smoking mirrors.
Oh well, that's the point of the interview, right? Is to suss out the lies from the truth, right?
Right.
Good God, they've damaged my mind now.
Mm-hmm.
They fractured him in so many ways.
I don't even believe you're Luke Stark anymore.
He's not, because I'm Luke Stark.
Oh, jeez.
Well, so when I was a kid, my father used to entertain us by saying stuff backwards, and so I was always Eckel Kratz, and my mother was Adnerb Kratz, and
Oh, jeez.
my
There
father
you
was,
go.
was Trevor Kratz. So
Oh.
opposite day.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind
there
of
you
like
go.
that.
There you
Shit.
go.
Okay, let me.
Wait, I have the first question from the chat is
Okay.
shaken or stirred?
I don't drink, so shaken. All of my, sugar-free stuff that I drink, add powder to water, is always shaken.
Shake
Shaken.
it.
There you go.
Next-
I don't drink alcohol. Go ahead.
Next question. Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Okay.
Ooh.
Black ones, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Shit.
Okay.
Occasionally gray, usually black.
Gray's all right.
Okay.
And the last question that I saw in the chat, and if there's more, please resend them because I probably missed them. And this is probably the most important. Behringer or Moog?
Oh, but in what context?
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah, I
give.
mean, that
they
can go
didn't
from
give.
a crate, that can go from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't give a context.
Like, are we talking about quality? We talking about
Yeah.
love? We talking about the community?
I guess
I-
I guess
I
you
own
pick.
both. I own both.
So he's neutral.
I wouldn't say I'm neutral. I think some of their gear is garbage, but their synths are okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
How long did you give it before Behringer comes out with a steam pipe?
Oh, well, I don't know. As soon as they decide it's worth doing, their marketing department or whatever.
As soon as they just, it's worth copying.
Yeah, I mean, the PPG. I'm excited about that thing. I think it's going to be great. I am. I predict that aliased wavetable sound is going to be super prevalent for the next year or so. As soon as that starts getting into people's hands, they're going to get doing that like grainy, low. Take that wavetable play, really low, so you get aliasing wrapping around on it. You get that high sort of buzzy sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be in everything. It's going to be the new lo-fi. Great wavetable wraparound basically is going to be the new lo-fi.
Okay. Any more questions from chat?
Did you teach other subjects than math?
I haven't taught math in a really, really long time, and I only taught it for like one semester. I teach software architecture and software engineering principles, and I taught music and bass for a while. That's about it.
Maybe I'll have to get some bass lessons in.
I was
going to
say maybe you can teach Lamar how to play.
Yeah.
No. I taught like beginners, bass, 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. I got a bass. I'm going to play 1-4-5 blues. I can teach you how to do that. And that's it.
Right.
Yeah, I used to be to be pretty good at the 12-bar blues. I haven't played blues in a long time since the band setting, but I think I still got it.
You still got it. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Remind me to tell you the stories about how I learned to smoke by joining my first Christian rock band.
Okay, we're going to get into that.
We're going to get into okay. So
wait, hold on before you start. Okay,
right.
We used to do this thing, and I'm not sure if everybody has gone back to our earlier work. But my brother and I used to sit in here and we used to do podcasts. A lot of times it was with ourselves and sometimes it was with others. But my brother always had this thing, and he always would start us off, and I've come fond of it.
Right.
And I can't not start a podcast.
That's where I was going to go, you bastard.
Well, I'm just letting them know.
Okay.
Gee, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you so angry?
Because everyone's a fucking tracker jack in my life.
God
That's why.
Bless.
Wait,
Anyways,
I'm not.
No, not you.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously, I resemble that. But anyways, he always had this thing. And before we started off, I got to hear him say it just for good old sake. Take it away.
No, you go ahead and you do it because clearly you want to do it.
I don't want to do it. I want to hear
you've
you
never
say
done it. You've never done it.
That's because you always do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want me to do it? I can
like
do it.
when you do it.
I'm Kent Spong.
Yeah,
Wait, you were talking about something else.
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I like when you say that.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah.
And today,
we have the Pillsbury Doughman who has wrapped himself in an entire sheet of synth wax paper.
Yes.
Today we have Luke Stark on the show.
AKA the Sin Seeker.
Synth Seeker.
Yes.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
First question. I don't care how old you are, Luke. It's totally irrelevant to the question. But
I'm 28 on the inside.
And that's all that matters.
I'm 21 on the downside.
On the downside.
All right.
Okay. What was life for Luke Stark? Like, let's take us to the age of 6 and up. If you can remember. I know I can remember some things at the age of 6, but what was life like, in the times? What were you hearing? What was the vibe?
Let's see. When I was 6, I was living in Cleveland, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland called North Olmsted, and my baby sister had just been born. And let's see. I don't really remember starting kindergarten, any of that, but what I was listening to, I would hear my parents play. My parents were both musicians. So I remember hearing both of them play guitar. My mother sang, and my parents were musicians turned hippies turned entrepreneurs, right? So they, sang at home and stuff. They weren't performing out, but Dad had a big record collection, and every night Mom's making dinner and Dad's spinning tunes on the record player, and my mom starts bopping across the floor because he just put on Devil with the Blue Dress, right?
Ooh.
So she starts belting that out in the kitchen while she's making goulash, and singing at the top of her lungs. And my father's in there drumming on the coffee table or the dining room chairs, and that was really good memories, right? So yeah, Devil with the Blue Dress. A lot of Meatloaf, a lot of Harry Chapin, singer-songwriter stuff for the most part. But yeah, that's what it was at age 6, that kind of stuff.
Do you have any brothers or sisters, or is it just you?
The
One sister.
Okay.
She was a baby. I'm 6 years older than her. So
Did she come away with any musical ability as you?
She came away with a love of music. She totally had musical ability, like in school, but she didn't carry it forward. She, she, for all I know, she's, belts it out in the shower, but she doesn't collect instruments or play instruments these days, but she loves music still. That's certainly there.
So if you hadn't grown up like this, I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but you obviously had some huge influence, because I know your father was a big to do with songwriting. So waking up in the household for you, this was an everyday norm. You know, you had a musical family. So I'm sure in Luke's little mind, he's like, hell yeah, I'm going to walk to school and I'm going to beat on things and I'm going to tap. And I hear all these melodies in my head. At what point did you say, I need to let this out on an instrument? And what instrument was it?
The first instrument I owned was probably, well, I mean, I had a lot of musical toys, right? So we had, you know, the xylophone on wheels stuff and, you know, the electronic beeping things and, you know, all of that. But we had, I think the first instrument, my parents always had guitars in the house. Guitars were there like all the time, not allowed to touch it, right? Keep your hands off the guitars, right?
Right.
As a kid, because kids are dumb and they break stuff, right? But the first instrument we got in the house that I was allowed to play was a Casio 4 something like home organ. That had like 16 sort of preset organ, brassy sounds on it, harpsichord, piano kind of thing. Nothing amazing. It was, you know, fake wood paneling kind of thing.
Right.
And I remember my mother, we went to J.C. Penney's or Sears, one of the two, and she pulled out a credit card and it was a big deal. She bought one and brought it home because she was teaching guitar and singing on the side. And we didn't have a piano in the house, so she needed something with keys on it that would let her work out some song stuff. And so that was the first instrument in the house that I was allowed to touch. And I was basically given unrestricted access. I could play it as much as I want, whenever I want. And I did. So they never forced me to take lessons, though. I never was one of those, you know, piano lessons from age 3 kids. I had to sort of figure it out on my own.
Right. And there's something to be said about that, because back then, you know, we didn't have YouTube. Like everything was like, I got to go pick up a book, or what can I learn from mom, or what can I hear or try to emulate by ear? Yeah. What was your go-to as far as elevating your skill?
Really just repetition over time. I never really practiced. I just played by ear. I think the first piece of music I ever remember being proud of was I worked out how to play the Airwolf theme. Just the melody.
You know? Oh, love that.
Love that.
Yeah, I did that. That was awesome. And, you know, and then other pieces. So a few years later, my dad started working for Telarc Records in Cleveland, and they were a classical label at the time. Mm-hmm. So he started bringing home records and started playing a lot of the Telarc stuff at the house. So I heard a lot of stuff. That's when he brought home like Switched On Bach to Lendy Carwas. That was a huge influence. But I would start trying to play by ear the things I remember hearing on the records that he was playing. And I never like sat down with a record player and said, okay, let's listen to a segment and now let's turn to the piano or the organ and try and play it. I had to remember it, you know, from memory. So and I heard that stuff a lot. And so I think an ear kind of developed just slowly over repetition. I don't have a great ear, but I can remember melodies and figure them out. So, you know.
What was and this may require you to think a little bit here, but what was the first major impression that made a huge impact on you that you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to burn this into my brain. Like, this is such a profound impression. It's 100% me.
You mean from a musical creation perspective?
From anything in life.
I didn't have a thing that I would call my own, you know, where you recognize I'm good at X, right? Mm-hmm. I liked reading as a kid. I liked music. Eventually I got one of those Fisher-Price record players in my room.
I remember those.
Yes. It's like all plastic, the plastic platter and everything. You know, it was indestructible. You couldn't even change the needle on it. It was
I remember that.
And they gave me, you know, and I got like records of storybooks, right? So I got a Star Trek one and the Hobbit story on record and stuff like that. Was it Snoopy and the Red Baron? Frankie Lane, which is Hellbent for Leather. He's the guy who did Rawhide. That was a record that, like an old beat up copy of that, and made it into my record collection in my room. And I used to listen to Frankie Lane sing those cowboy songs, but like Frankie Lane's like an Italian crooner who sings cowboy songs.
Right.
So it was that I heard a lot of that, but none of that was all just using, right? I don't really hook up, lock into anything that say this is a thing I make and this is what I do till years later. Not till I was, I'd say playing bass. I got a bass. There's a story worth telling how I lied to one of my teachers. If you want to hear that story, I'll tell it to you. You say when, but
Okay, yeah. But I really want to hear the church one before I hear that one.
That's fine. But I think playing bass was the first time I ever realized, oh, I can be good at something.
Right.
I mean, other than I'm good at reading, I'm good at, comics are a big thing. So it was a while. It wasn't until I was 12 or 13 that I got recognition of saying, oh, I realize I'm good at this. I've done this enough that I think it happens when you hear or meet someone else who's trying to do the same thing and they're not at the same level of quality or the same level of skill, and you sort of see the difference and you go, oh, I used to be like that, but now I'm here.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a better than, it's just a pride in accomplishment,
Yeah. It's goal. I mean, goal points. Everybody has a goal point, but shit, when does that, when does that stop?
That never stops, right? That's like the Ira Glass quote, right? The Ira Glass quote about quality stair-stepping up over time. Like you recognize that you're good, and then you realize, oh, but I'm not this good, and then you work hard to get there, and then you're like, well, it's still not good enough. There's more, right?
Right. Yeah, it's an endless pursuit, and you can never master what can't be mastered. I think that's the whole thing of humbling yourself and just being good at where you're at.
Yeah. Well, you reach a point where you just don't care anymore. You're like, I'm good enough, right? And you can get better, but you don't angst about it. That whole imposter syndrome. I did a rant about imposter syndrome a while back on my channel. Just as I find imposter syndrome really frustrating when I run across people. I just want to hug them and say, you don't have to feel this way. Just you just be what you're at and keep going forward. And
Victor Wooten said that too. I don't know if you ever follow one of his interviews. He says, I've came so far in playing the bass, 1,000,000 notes per second. And he says, it's so hard for me to find a job because no one wants 1,000,000 notes per second. People with albums want groove. They want something that fits and lays in the background with the band. So for Victor, he said it's a blessing, but it's more so of a curse.
Absolutely. In fact, that's so. To be fair, that's one of the lessons my dad taught early on when he was being a DJ and playing those records for us in the dining room. My mom's dancing in the kitchen. He would put on he would say, it's the space between the notes that makes the song good. And he said, I can't remember what the song was. Was it Night Shift?
Night
Shift. He's like,
Jackie.
listen to this. Yeah, exactly. Marvin, and he put that on and he said, you listen to this bass line, because that's what basically when I started playing bass, he started feeding me bass lines. He'd be like, listen to this bass line. He's not playing a lot of notes. He's playing the right ones at the right time. And you just go with that. He also said, he gave me songwriting advice. He said, listen to Lionel Richie.
Oh, yes.
He said, that's what's called, he was joking and he was serious, but he was laughing about it. He said, that's called the sound of money.
Oh, Commodores. Well, come on now. I mean, that's what Lionel did, right? Like that was their thing.
Yeah, it was good.
Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead, Luke.
So we got this real broad mix in my house of a lot of different kinds of music. And so my parents perform folky singer-songwriter stuff, but he would play us classical and he would play us rock and he would play us R&B and stuff.
I'm curious, does Sarah, your wife, play anything? Is she musically inclined, or does she just like to sit around and listen to your stuff?
Sarah was like my sister. She played an instrument in school. She was in the marching band, that kind of stuff. But she's let it sort of go by the wayside. But she is an avid music listener and she sings all the time. She goes through her life singing. She sings in the car, sings in the shower, sings while she's cooking. She's always singing. And she cannot sing very well.
Don't tell her that. In her mind, she's Whitney Houston.
Oh, it's all right. I love her to death. I don't tease her, and I just sing with her, and I don't sing very well either. So,
What instrument did she play in school?
she played. What did she play? Clarinet and sax in marching band. You know.
Oh,
I
nice.
think they're keyed the same. So if you could play one, you can play the other.
Sometimes I envy people who don't play music because I miss that just listening, going to a concert and listening to music. But once you get that musical ear, you're always listening to certain sections of the music and you're not as in tune to enjoying it because you're always analyzing where's he at, what's he doing, what kind of lick is that, you know?
You
and
ever
sometimes
go to
that feels weird.
You ever go to a battle of the bands? You ever, as a spectator, you ever go to battle of the bands where, you know, in high school or junior high school or even after, you know, like an open mic night at a bar?
Yeah, we actually played in one.
All right. Well, so you played it once. So if you go as a spectator, right? Well, if you played it one, you've seen it, right?
Right.
What happens is the whole front row is a bunch of guys like doing this, right?
Right.
And those are the other musicians who are judging you, right? And they're all looking at each other and they're looking at you and they're going, I could do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Yep. Totally. And I've been in the audience doing exactly that, right? And I've been on stage looking at it. And that's just the way it is. That's okay.
Yeah.
Andy Synchrotron supposedly has gone to sleep.
Great. What about Andy?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
but I'm sure he's still there.
Yeah, but
that's Andy. For me, that's Andy Prime. I know for Grace, it's not Andy Prime, but that's Andy Prime.
Right. Yeah. It's completely different, Andy.
Yeah.
He has been asking a ton of questions.
Yeah, sure.
But we thought you were sleeping, so we don't know who truly is asking the questions. One of his many silly questions is, when wearing sandals, socks or no socks?
No socks. No. Never socks with sandals.
Good
Although
answer.
I don't own sandals.
I'm wearing socks with sandals.
Yeah, that's
I don't own sandals. I am 53. I own Crocs, but you still don't wear socks with Crocs.
It's a thing. My kids do it. Everybody in their high school does it. It's a thing now. Crocs and socks, or
like trying to put on
slides and socks.
Trying to put on Crocs while you're wearing socks is like trying to put on underwear while you're still wet from the shower.
Thank you.
It does not work.
It doesn't work. Yeah. Secretron said in the chat he's not here.
Okay.
Tell her I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's aware.
Any more questions from chat?
Oh, chat has a ton of questions.
Okay, let's get some of those out of the way.
So one of them is, what is the synth he is seeking the most that you do not have?
Everybody always asks that question. I don't need any more right now. So I'm full, which is a very rare occurrence. I am out of space in my studio.
So let's say you had space. If you had space
for one more,
and money was not
money's no option, that kind of question. Yeah. Let's see. I would go get a Korg multi-poly. That's a long list, actually, because if money was no option, I'd buy a whole bunch of stuff, right?
But it was the one that you were
seeking. If I could only
most.
buy one
Yes.
right now, I'd look at all the synths I have and look at how they make the sound they make and categorize them into buckets of this one's an analog synth, this one's a digital synth, this one's FM, this one's a sampler. And I'd look to see if there's any synths up for sale that make sound in a way that I don't already have a synth that does it that way.
Right.
And I would look at that. So right now, I got everything covered. So
ooh, he's a
nothing
happy
wrong
man.
with that.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with being
that's
content.
That's exactly how I feel.
I am blessed right now, right? And I'm not rich. I'm just irresponsible with my money.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that either.
And I'm sure Sarah can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways. Both of us have our shopping habits, right? But I don't know. I'd probably go with another FM synth. I've only got one synth that's dedicated to FM. So.
Okay, here's another question for you that you weren't prepared for.
Sure.
It's a little morbid, but that's what we do. We kind of have this wide spectrum of questions.
That's fine. I'm, always on the verge of death anyway, so go for it.
Okay.
Jesus.
In the event that Luke Stark passes away,
what
would you want done with all of your music items?
You mean the equipment or the things I've made, the body of work?
Everything, like your entire studio, everything that is you that you leave behind musically.
I've already kind of got that arranged. So the studio contains no work in progress. The studio is just a box full of gear. And I've already, although if he's watching the stream, he doesn't know it yet, but I've already selected a friend of mine named Bob, who's going to be the guy my wife contacts to help her sell all of my gear for the best profit. And then as far as the work in progress, it'll just fade away. And as far as the work that's out there, it'll be out there until, I don't know, until
it's
I haven't
out there.
I haven't opted for the DistroKid Leave a Legacy $50 add-on. But maybe I should.
Make sure you read that fine print.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not that concerned about it. I don't know. I should have a living will, but I don't. Sorry, Dad. He was like, make a will. I'm like, I haven't done it yet. But if I knew I was going, I'd put it in there to be like, have my kid gather up what's out there and just, burn it somewhere.
That's interesting. Yeah. So your father is still with us, correct?
Yep.
And your mother?
No, she passed away about 7 years ago.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But your father, though, okay. Yeah. And I imagine he sat down with you when you were a child and he's like, okay, my kid's going to be a musician. He's taking all this in. He's going ape shit on the piano. He's playing bass. Have you guys sat down and had the conversation now as, look how far my kid Luke has come?
He always tells me he's proud of me. He's very, because we had a rocky. So there's another story worth telling. Lamont, you always talk about having a GED.
Yeah.
I have a GED.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can compare notes there, because when I was from age 16 to about age 23, I was a hood, just a terrible, terrible person, and hit rock bottom, and my wife helped me climb up out of it. So my relationship with my dad was great as a kid, terrible as a teen, and then became okay and became good again as an adult after I started raising a family. So he tells me now, he's always proud, and he, cites things. He's like, your music's good, et cetera, et cetera. Your work is good. So that's okay. I'm blessed there. But he never sat me down and put me on a path, because at that time, when you're picking your path around teenage years, I was a monster. So,
I mean, you weren't any less of a monster than probably a lot of people. Like my brother and I, we shared a lot. We were no freaking peaches. We were actually like on the street, freaking.
It's hard for me to
doing our goddamn thing. But at some point, you get out of it.
To see Luke like that. Can you picture?
I don't want to do an evil one-up contest.
No. We're not. I'm not saying that, but I'm just
only
saying,
because
like,
you see the man
yourself.
that's in front of you.
Right. And what scoped the man in front of you, in front of all of us, is that past, right? Because it's that learning point. I think we wouldn't be who we are today if we had not had that. Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was dumb as a sack of hammers until I was 27. Easy.
Yeah.
Right. Just dumb. Right. Brain's not all there. Right. The road forks and you got to choose a path. I picked the one of least resistance and the one that gave me instant gratification every time.
Right.
So it wasn't until I had stuff to lose did that turn around. Right. After I married my wife, which is amazing, because at 24 I was still an idiot. And we got married then, and then I had something to lose. And
right.
Turning around.
You're a young man still. You're middle-aged, 53. That's pretty fucking young, Luke. What's the goal? Like, where's the train going? What ticket did you purchase for what destination?
I would like to retire one day, but it's going to be another 15 years probably till I can do that. So in the meantime, it's just, hang on one sec. Yeah, babe. Oh, Sarah wants to say hi. You want to get on camera?
Hi,
Sarah.
Yes.
You can get on camera if you come over here.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Is that there she
Come
is?
on in there.
So
Oh, yeah, there she is.
The woman who puts up with Luke.
The woman who actually
The shorter
saved,
half.
yeah,
the woman who actually saved Luke is to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think she can hear
I
you
can't
guys.
hear you.
I've got you on headphones, so
Oh,
okay.
well, tell her what we
Yeah.
said. She's amazing.
they said you're amazing.
Yeah, he made
Thanks,
that
your checks in the mail. All right, let's go.
All right, I'll see you.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye,
I'll
Sarah.
say bye.
Bye.
So I totally don't know where we were now.
That's
No, we were talking about getting ourselves back on the right path.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
where your
Yeah.
train was headed, what your goals were.
Oh yeah.
you know.
So going on to I'm 53, where the goals are. So my kid is. I'm going to say this facetiously, but it's true. My goal is right now in my life are to reduce the number of responsibilities I have as low as I can.
Mhm.
There you go.
So my kid moved out a little over a year ago, year and a half, and launched successfully. You know, hasn't come back home, hasn't asked for money, seems to be happy.
Right.
Yay.
So I call
Right.
that a win.
Yeah.
My wife went, and after he moved out, she went and got a job because we were like 2 incomes. Woohoo, that'd be awesome, right? As soon as she got a job, my stress level went way up. And her stress level went way up, and she worked for 6 months, and then at the end she's like, I think I want to quit, and I said, I think I want you to quit. And for whatever reason, you know, we're both I had hippie parents, gender equality is a thing in my upbringing, but for whatever reason we are in this Fred Flintstone style relationship where she runs the house, takes care of everything, and I go to work and bring home money.
But what's wrong with that, though? If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with it. It isn't necessarily what's the most woke or popular right now. I mean, it's not like I control her in any way. That's not the case. But
be careful, Luke, because the woke society means
You're slaving your
slaving
damn
your
wife,
wife.
and you don't she's not doing what she's supposed to do.
well, yeah.
No, it's okay. We could talk about it on this show, Luke. It's fine.
we don't hide from woke
don't-
society.
She seems happy, right? So
Yeah.
our anniversary's
And that-
coming up.
Oh, yay. How many years?
Planning. 29.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
So
And you don't see that a lot in this day and age.
No, it's very rare.
No.
Very, very
well,
rare.
and
I mean-
both of our parents are divorced, right? So
Right.
That says a lot.
There was one point where for 3 years, well, I opt to quit the farrier business, but for 3 years of that, Marilyn was doing all of the work. I was doing all of the equipment purchasing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the equipment behind you.
but there was a trade. It was okay. Yeah, you've conquered the farrier world, and it was fun while we did it. I was able to make a name for myself. I was able to get to a point where 3 different doctors were seeking us out to help horses, and I felt like I have gotten to the upper echelon of what I wanted to do. And then she said, so what do you really want to do? And I said, well, Lamar's been talking about a podcast, and I really want to get this music off the ground. And she's like, well, I helped you get to where you need to go. You helped me get to where I needed to go. Why don't you quit the farrier business and let's go do music and podcasts and see where that takes us?
Oh, let me just inject one thing here. When I learned that was the situation over at Shea Symptoms of Reality, I hung up the chat, hung up the YouTube, turned to my wife and said, "Lucky motherfucker."
That's
but
funny.
in her defense, she works in the movie industry as an accountant.
Right.
So she's on all the major films you watch. She pays the entire cast. So the music industry is taking a shit. And along
The
with
movie industry.
the movie industry is taking a shit. And along with that, it kind of put us in this weird situation to where on one hand I was like, I should have just started the farrier business up and been running at an optimal range. That way we didn't have to worry about, finances. But had we done that, we would not be in the situation we're in now. My brother wouldn't be sitting right here. We would have not built this studio from the ground up. Like, so many things would not have taken place.
Yeah.
And so now we're in a situation where we're like, okay, when is she going to get her next job again? And we can't live like that. And we're not in the mindset that YouTube's going to make us rich. It's not going to happen. We've never been in that mindset. Although it can make you money, true, but it's not going to make you rich unless you win the YouTube lottery. So now we're like, okay, we don't like to be separated, much like you and Sarah. We're like, so what are we going to do? I hate when she has to go and travel off to work. So I was like, well, we're starting to ferry your business back up. It's very lucrative. It pays great. And we can do it, the three of us can do it for the most part and still be able to get in the studio and do what we do.
Yeah. It's a hell of a lot safer too for you than putting your ass on the street, and getting pimped out.
I mean,
we were thinking about that.
That's pretty easy, Luke. Like, I'd feel actually.
You're a handsome guy.
It'd be safe for me because I'm the camera guy. The camera guy
we were thinking about an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We were. It was getting that close.
We're going to put some mask on.
My gimbal work is something to be marveled, sir.
We don't have to show faces,
Yeah, exactly. All right. And I honestly, most of the channel subscribers would probably flip over just like that.
They would. They would.
Sure.
But I get it though. I get the household and
Well, what's it? Let me ask you this.
Sure.
What's it like being Freebird parents now?
It's awesome.
Because you had that long responsibility.
Yeah.
So I imagine you. Listen here, Luke. Okay, is there a spot you guys have not hit in the house? I'm just going to ask you. Is there like where do you guys outside?
We have not christened the guest bathroom.
Oh, there you go.
So there is one spot that is sacred. Well,
It's a Florida that's real slippery.
maybe Luke. Maybe the anniversary gift is
said bathroom.
Yeah.
No. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but preventatively, my in-laws will be here for our anniversary. So.
What are you guys doing? Anything special?
Yeah. I mean, we like to go out. I hear you. You hear the dog?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yep.
We're gonna go out for Sarah likes a steak. She's a steak and potatoes girl. So
nice.
Let's go out to a nice steakhouse and
Nice.
and then I have a surprise plan, but I'm not gonna talk about it just yet.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Definitely
Hold
But
on.
go ahead
I
and
gotta
go
close
ahead.
the door. Hold on a second.
Go ahead. You're good. I was going to say whisper it.
Go to bed, buddy. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
He knows what go to bed means. So.
Aw.
I wonder if Andy knows what go to bed means.
No,
No,
he does not.
I wonder if Andy can figure that out.
Yeah.
Is there another question before Lamar asks another one?
Yeah, I have a ton of questions.
Okay. Let's get some of those.
So another question. I don't know who these are from exactly because I didn't write them down. I just wrote down the questions.
Okay.
Somebody asked techno or house.
Oh.
Techno.
Oh, that was easy.
Techno.
Okay.
Shoot it.
Steve wants to know, what was your first synth you ever got?
The Roland D10. Oh, if you don't count that Casio tone I mentioned earlier.
Rolling
D10.
And do you still have it?
No, I played it till I wore it out.
Oh,
damn.
Damn.
So that was a synth I got. That was a birthday. Not a birthday. That was how old was I? 16. I was 16, and my dad wanted me to write music sort of more formally. He wanted me to have the tools. My parents had a studio in the house with like a old Fostex cassette 4-track kind of thing, and set of mics because they would play out. We had a PA and mics because my dad and my mom would go play out weekends once in a while. And so we had a music room in the house where all the instruments were sort of kept. And when I was 16, he took me to Thoroughbred Music in Tampa, Florida, and bought a synthesizer and a MIDI interface for the computer and a cakewalk for DOS software, and said, you can use this to record your music. And basically he set me up with a synth and a DAW. It wasn't audio, it was just MIDI. And that was like a big thing. That was a big expense. And he did it because he wanted me to try writing music. And that's when it started.
Wow, that's
Roland
cool.
D10. So
Did you wear it out to the point where Kent Spong couldn't fix it?
no, I bet Kent could fix it, but I wore it out to the point where it stopped working during the crazy times when I was around 19.
Mm.
And I didn't have money to get it fixed. I
Oh, wow.
Okay, next question.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Damn.
ABBA?
Actually, Bee Gees.
Beach? Wait,
He
that's not one of the
didn't even
options.
entertain the
Jeez,
two.
You
yeah.
didn't even entertain it.
Solid.
There's a story for that. I love the Rolling Stones and I love the Beatles, but my father
Right.
was playing me. He was playing ABBA one of those nights when he was DJing, and my mom was in the kitchen making dinner, and my sister and I were. She's sitting in her diapers with a bottle, and I'm out there listening to him spin stuff. And he plays ABBA. Actually, what he played is this album called Stars on 45, Stars on Play, which was an early sort of mashup remix of people doing ABBA songs and Beatles songs in a disco sort of mashup style.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Stars on Long Play. You can find it out there. And they played an ABBA song, and I'm like, I like this. So he started playing me some other ABBA songs. And then I said, Dad, I think this is was it that? No, so I said Bee Gees earlier. It was ABBA. And I said, Dad, I think this is the greatest band in the world. And he goes, no, Luke, the greatest band in the world is the Rolling Stones. And I said, Dad, if there were two stadiums, this is a kid who's like 8 years old. Dad, if there's two stadiums and ABBA's playing in one and the Rolling Stone is playing in the other, everybody's going to go over to the ABBA stadium. And he just laughed.
Oh my God. He's like, my kid is a nightmare.
So to answer your question fairly, as an adult now, Beatles is where I would, if I got to go, if someone's like, you get to listen to Rolling Stones or Beatles while you're driving on a 2-hour road trip, what's it going to be? It's going to be Beatles for me.
Yeah,
Nice.
I agree because
Okay.
John Lennon, I'm like John Lennon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Next question.
Do you somebody in the chat wants to know if you have a stylophone or a vocoder?
I had a stylophone. It was a stocking stuffer many years ago, and I poo-pooed it because it was real pre-modular resurgence and stuff like that. And some relative, an uncle, or maybe my parents bought it for me because it was, like $50. And they were like, yeah, he's into synths. We'll buy him a stylophone. And I was slowly building my synth collection. And I was like, whatever. And it sat on the shelf until it got sold at a garage sale or something like that. So, and then as far as vocoder is concerned, I don't have a hardware vocoder, but I have a ton of software vocoders.
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, I published a piece of music just like yesterday of me using a vocoder. So one of the few things that I ever wrote that has lyrics, I put it out yesterday, in fact. I shared it on Discord. So.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Oh.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
Did I not see that post?
I think it was on his Discord.
I didn't share it on
probably.
your Discord because it's really embarrassing because it's the only time I've ever sang. Even through a vocoder, it's bad.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
man,
now we really
come
got to
on,
hear
now
it.
we gotta
Popcorn
hear
night
it.
next week.
I'll push it out for popcorn night. It's only a minute long. So
Oh,
perfect. Yeah.
Nice.
See?
Let's do
yeah.
that.
You can bear it for
it is a
minute.
piece of shit, hence I say I will push it out.
You put it out there, so
Hey,
it can't
you,
be that bad.
You did great for my birthday song.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah. It could be so
Yeah.
much better, though.
No, it was perfect. Go ahead, shoot the next question.
Okay. Flat Earth or round?
Round.
That's easy.
Yeah.
He was like, I know.
I
this
won't even
one.
entertain that bullshit.
Flat earthers are dumb. Go away.
Yeah.
A440, not 432. Fuck you all.
Okay. I did hear a YouTube on the difference between 432 and 440.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys
432 sounds like
conspiracy
shit.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, conspiracies rule the world.
Panda or a puma?
Oh, pandas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, pumas are. I like animals, right? Right. And while I do not associate necessarily myself with the current definition of what a furry is, in the late '80s when furry stuff was like about cartoons and animated movies with animals, I was totally into it then. I prefer a panda over a puma.
Yeah.
There you go. A badger or baboon?
Probably badger, because I got a soft spot for badgers. I like anything that looks like it's wearing a mask. So raccoons, badgers,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, raccoons look like they're
Thieving everything.
Yeah, they're stealing
Yeah.
everything.
Damn
Trash
opposable
panda.
thumbs.
Yep.
Raccoons are trash pandas.
Trash band.
And they're
Yeah.
always in our
Yeah.
trash
Yeah.
as of late.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my grandfather, my father's side, had a house. He lived in a house out in the woods, and every day he was retired. When we'd visit him for the summer for a few weeks, and he'd take me down to the Pepperidge Farm thrift store where you could buy day-old bread, and he'd buy 4 or 5 loaves of old bread in a tub, like a gallon tub of peanut butter. He'd bring it home, and we would make dried peanut butter sandwiches and cut them in quarters, and then put them in the peanut butter tub. And every night, the raccoons would come out, and we'd sit on his front porch and fling peanut butter sandwich quarters out for the raccoons to eat. So I love raccoons; they're awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I love to eat raccoon. That's awesome.
Ew.
Jeez.
Ew. I've never.
Yeah.
I've never.
You never?
ate-
Oh,
no.
you're-
Most of the raccoons, at least in New England, all like 9 out of 10 carry rabies, unfortunately.
No, you took
Yeah.
that shit right out of
Oh my God.
Next
Look,
question.
don't-
Go ahead.
Don't
Yeah.
listen to him.
No, you guys go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, wait, real quick, because Unit E and I had a conversation yesterday, and this probably goes for you because we're talking to you right now, but
Yeah.
most likely everybody
Unit-
has some
Also known as alleged Brian.
alleged
Alleged Brian.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The alleged
Do,
Brian.
do you think it's possible? And I'm just going by our conversation because I don't think it's possible. I'm going to say that right now,
Yeah.
unless you tried. But I don't think even then. Do you think it's possible? Any one of us, musician-wise, could make shitty music in your current level right now?
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I don't think I understood the question.
At our current level right now, is it possible for you to make shitty music?
Is it at our society's current level of
No,
technology?
no. Being
At your personal
being
current
at your
level.
your personal skill set, your level.
Yeah.
As
Is it
you
possible
look,
to make shitty music?
yeah,
Oh yeah, easy. Hell yeah. Right. I mean, but it's like, what's shitty? So can I make music that I am unhappy with? Yeah. all the
okay,
time.
but that's I told B this. That's perception, right? Because what you don't like, other people will think it's the best shit ever. It's
Sure.
probably the best shit you ever done.
Yeah.
So
Well, and conversely, some dude may make music that he's like, this is the greatest song I've ever written, and they'll play it for me, and I'm like, yes, it's not
It's-
that hot.
it's shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But I won't tell him that. But whatever.
I
Yeah.
guess my reason for asking that is we know what horrible music sounds like.
Mhm.
And we know that if it's horrible, we kind of tweak things and change things till it's appeasing to the ear for yourself. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm pretty blunt. Like, if you play a piece of music and I don't like it, I won't say it's shit. I'll say what I don't like about it.
Right.
Right. And because I teach, one of the things they teach you to say is you don't tell people do this or say this is wrong. You say, have you considered trying X? And then you tell them the thing that you wish was there. Right.
Mhm.
So like someone who doesn't play in a key or who just everything's always dissonant. I say, have you ever considered playing within a key? Right. And I'll use whatever language makes sense to them.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to tell someone. So it's like this: if I left a YouTube comment on your music that said something good, I'm never going to lie. It's like if I like you, if I say something good, there's something good there, and if I say something constructive, I think it would be better if you considered that thing. But don't blow smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I think that we're missing that in society a lot, just in general. If people,
Well, because people are so fragile.
They're afraid to get their feelings hurt.
Well,
Well,
and then
that imposter syndrome, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to crush
Yeah.
someone.
yeah, well,
Right.
and not only that, not only people get their feelings hurt, but the folks who are delivering the message don't know how to deliver the message.
Yeah.
Right? There's
Yeah.
there's a constructive way, like Luke said, to criticize something.
Yeah.
You don't have to be cruel or mean about
No.
something.
No.
Yeah.
You can say it in a nice roundabout way.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, criticism is healthy. You know,
Yeah.
when scientists want to get their shit checked, right? They go to their peers and it gets peer-based reviewed, right?
Yeah.
Because people have this joint education and they want to make sure the theory is there, right? Like you have to subject yourself to something, like you just like, and it's not even. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what about the person just does not want to
Imagine
entertain.
a world with no feedback.
Right.
You know what? Well, it's interesting. So you said earlier, I think I said I've reached a point where I don't really aspire to getting better musically, because it's not that I think I'm good, it's that I think I'm good enough, and I will get better organically by trying new things and by repetition over time. But I don't aspire to get better necessarily. I aspire to make more stuff.
Right.
Doesn't have to be better stuff. And that's a happy place to be. If you can get to that place with your music where you're like, I know I can do quality. I know the last 3 things I tried, they're shit, but I know I can do quality that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're like free at that point.
Right.
So,
which is good though.
Agree, but I think it is good. Yeah.
It's good because and everybody has their signature, right? Like if you because I know our family so well, if you put a blindfold on me and you play something of Luke, I'll go, oh, that's Luke.
Yeah.
That's his signature sound. Like that's what he sounds like. And it goes for any one of us,
Yep.
So,
well, that's why I get frustrated by people who try and work in a genre. There's nothing wrong with working in a genre, and that's how you learn, right? But for people who are slaves to the genre, it's like, just be you. At some point, you got to stop being the genre and just make your music, right? The best thing someone ever said to me was, I was listening to your albums, and they have like a whole bunch of different genres in your album, in the music you put out on Bandcamp. But they said, but it always sounds like you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. Great.
Yeah. You want to be original and you want your sound.
Yeah. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
There's a question that Lamar always asks us, or he always presents this question towards the end of the podcast, and I'll let him present it. But it's one of the most thought-provoking things as to see what people answer. And every time someone answers this, it's always based about where they are in their life, and psychologically you wouldn't know, but it's pretty interesting on what people decide. So why don't you go ahead and ask that question?
Is this the Dr. Death?
Yeah.
So you are where you are right now.
Okay.
And let's just say, and this is not geared for religious beliefs. You could be atheist, you can be religious. I don't give a shit. This is hypothetical, 100%, and entertain the fantasy with me, please. Let's just say right now, a representative from the other side, call it heaven, call it whatever you want to call it. He comes to you and he or she says, you've done very well with your physical life here. Earth was just a battleground. It was designed for you to achieve, self goals, get a lesson. And right now you've already checked off all the boxes for what you signed up for. The rest of your days here are bonuses.
Yeah.
Let me show you a peek of the other side. I'm just going to pull the veil back, and I want you to stick your head in, and I want you to feel the immense amount of love and the openness and the freedom of stress and the no worries, the no cares, the notion of living forever in bliss in your own mind, where you can design and have everything you dreamed of for eternity.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave now and come with me?
No.
Or do you want to stay?
Nope. I'm staying. You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how, I want to know why you want to stay.
And that's what that question is geared for. I always want to figure out where people are in their lives.
Oh, you sons of bitches are gonna make me cry on camera.
Yeah.
I'm not done. Okay. I've reached a point in my life where I am far from perfect, right? But first of all, I would not leave my wife and my child or my remaining family living. Nope, not doing it. It would be different if they said, you can take them with you, and then there would be a discussion amongst my family, right? But but primarily it's family. I'm going to take as many days as I can with my wife as I can. Not everybody has that, so I'm lucky. But but I'm not done, right? And I don't mean done creating. I just mean I like who I am. I like the people around me. I like humanity. Like, I don't know, maybe when my mom died, I sort of worked out, we're all pretty well the same. Like, black, white, Republican, Democrat, everybody wants the same thing. There's what we are, and then there's who we are. And the distinction is, it's very comforting for me because I think everybody, what they are is the same thing. They're a human being and they want a few things. They want to be happy. They want to have some kind of health, and they want to live a life that is fulfilling, and I don't mean fulfilling in a creative way. I mean fulfilling meaning it's a life of relative ease, right? Happy, healthy life of ease. I think everyone wants that. Doesn't matter where you're from, Muslim, Christian, whatever. I don't want to get into religion, politics, but I think you could say that is true of everyone on the planet. So that's what we are. And when I realized that when I walk into someone in the street and they're an asshole or they're grumpy, they're having a bad day, or I'm having a bad day, I can remind myself, it's like, slow down. You know what they are. They want happiness, health, life of ease. And then the only main difference, what makes us different is who we are, who we think we are. It's like, you think you're a farrier. I think I'm a teacher. This person thinks they're a doctor, right? And that makes us different. And that's what makes all the circles that in peer groups and, puts us in communities and stuff like that. And that's where all the differences come, and both good and bad. And I am very comfortable with that at this point in my life. I understand that. So I can walk out down the street, I can go to the grocery store, and there's a little Asian woman who's really upset, right? Or here's a black kid who's like, talking to his mom, and he's wearing a soccer shirt. Obviously, it's like a soccer mom doing a thing. It doesn't. I'm not doing a woke angle here. I'm just saying I can see someone who's really angry and tell myself, just give them some space, because what they are really, what they want out of life. They want happy, health, and they're not getting it right now. So that's why they're grumpy. So just like, give them some space, let them go, help them if you can.
Yeah.
And so I just don't have my life's pretty full of joy, and I don't want to get all. I'm sorry if I'm getting a pithy. People are rolling their eyes at the cat, but I like my fellow humans. I really do.
Right.
I love that answer.
My brother-in-law, his politics and mine are as opposite as it can be. And I want to punch him someday, but
there you go.
But you restrain yourself.
I can still wake up and be like, he's a good person and he loves his children and he's doing what he feels is right. All right, we'll give him some space, and that's it. So, so no, I don't want to leave. I got too many days left here where I like the people I'm around with, and I can't leave my wife ever.
Yeah.
Right. There's a song. It's about as white as a song can get. It's called True Companion. It's got this Jewish guy, Mark Cohn, who's Cohen, but for Nashville reasons, changed his name to Cohn. And this song, and it's called True Companion, and it's got this lyric in it about the husband saying, "When I leave this earth, I'll be." You're gonna make me cry.
That's all right. That's what this podcast does to you, man.
Symptoms of your
You
reality.
won't be the first. You won't be the last.
The lyric is, "When I leave this earth, I'll be waiting for you."
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
In that question,
Beautiful.
the question that I pose, it to those that are really going through something, they are truthful. We asked our good friend Steve Johnson that very question. And I remember him telling us
He's leaving.
he's leaving.
immediately.
But not only that, but he's taking his wife and children with him. No conversation.
Yeah.
He's making them go. But he was in a place of depression. right?
Yeah.
So when I pose this question, you can't really hide from it unless you're going to lie to me. And then you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we'll get nowhere. But thank you for being honest with that question, because I'm always curious where people are in their lives.
Yeah. Is there any more questions from?
Well, to be
Okay.
clear, it's been an hour and 15. If you want the road stories, we got to get to them.
Yeah. So I was going to say,
Yeah,
I was
'cause
going
we
to
have
say, give
15
me the
minutes.
church and the bass and all that, because
JRC comes on
yeah.
at 6.
JRC is in 15 minutes.
All right, super fast story. Why did Luke learn to smoke? So I was 17 and I wanted nothing more than to be in a garage band playing bass. And I lived in Sarasota, Florida, and there isn't a big call for 70-year-old bass players who like prog rock and radio, top 40 radio stuff. And so, pulling papers down off the corkboard at the local music shop, right? There's a band looking for a bass player. And I didn't drive, right? And so I needed to find a band that was willing to come pick my ass up with my bass and my amp and all that stuff. And found one, and they didn't say they were a Christian rock band. They just said they were a band. And showed up, drove up to a church, went into the church, met everybody, nice enough folk. They're like, yep, we're a Christian rock band. We're going to be doing, top 40 stuff and some spiritual stuff. Like, that's fine. And then by the end of the night, the leader of the band is angry at everyone because we keep cracking jokes and cussing in the church. And so we go outside. He's like, that's it, rehearsal's over. And they all used to this. And so we all went outside and we're shooting the shit. And they started smoking. And they're like, you want one? And I'm like, I don't smoke. They're like, you don't? I mean, it was like classic 80s after school special.
Yeah.
Smoking's cool. How can you not smoke?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't smoke. I never learned how to smoke. They're like, we could teach you. And I'm like, okay. They hand me a fucking Marlboro Red.
Ooh.
I just about die.
Yeah.
Right? Couldn't get a drag
Jeez.
off of it. And they're like, we can fix this. So we hop in the car and this is in Sarasota, Florida, and we drive on down to Publix supermarket. And if you know what Publix is like, it's a nice sort of retired person grocery store.
Yeah.
And colors in salmon and teal. And they go, we got you covered. You wait in the car. And they go in, or one or two of them go in. They come back out, and they're like, we got you these. These are easy to smoke. And they hand me a pack of cool menthol.
Oh my gosh, the blackest cigarette you could ever
They
get.
hand me a pack of cool menthol 100s. They're like, 100s, the cigarette lasts longer. It's better. More economical.
Oh man.
And I learned to smoke cool, and I smoked cool menthols for like, I don't know, 2 years until I moved in with a new roommate who smoked Reds, and he was like, you should switch over to Reds because those are not cool.
Yeah. That is not becoming of you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to Marlboro Reds until I met my wife, and she would not kiss me if I smoked, and so I quit cold turkey that day.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Oh, that is lovely.
Your wife saved you from a lot of
From a
things.
lot of things.
Yeah.
It's funny how somebody could do that.
Well, it's amazing what you could achieve when it doesn't involve your dick.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
So,
What was the other story you had, Luke?
I
We
forget. I don't remember what it was.
A church, wasn't it?
Was it something
That was
about
the church
church?
one.
That was the church one.
That was
was
the church one. Yeah,
Okay.
learned to smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes because of the church. And
Was it a bass one? Was it a bass one? Something about the bass?
No, there's a lot of road stories, but not anything I necessarily want to share.
Yes.
Let's see.
I don't want to peel those onion layers back there, buddy.
Here's a piece of information. We'll say when I was 19, before I was dating my wife, my best friend was famous in our circles because he could, I'm going to say this, it's going to sound crazy, but he was famous in our peer circle because we had timed him, and he could open a hole in a chain link fence tall enough for a 6 foot tall pregnant woman to go through without bending over in less than 4 seconds.
Whoa.
Holy
What?
shit.
And it all comes down to the tooling. And he had something called a fencing tool that if you ever worked on a farm or farrier, you probably
Yeah.
seen a fencing
Yeah.
tool
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
dealing with barbed wire and stuff.
Yep.
He had a fencing tool, and he could do it and demonstrated, and we timed it, and then went through that fence and adventure ensued.
Jeez.
Wow.
Have you ever-
hell of a friend?
Have you ever tried venturing off into like marijuana or any hard drugs or psilocybin or?
So I have tried pot many times in
Mhm.
many forms. And for whatever reason, when my body processes it, my right ear gets hit harder than my left ear. My balance center goes weird and I get vertigo and then projectile
Oh.
vomit because
Oh, that's
wow.
so
it does
crazy.
that thing where it spins about 90 degrees and then clicks back and then does
Mhm.
90 degrees and then clicks back.
Mhm.
And I basically projectile. And I've done it smoking, I've done it edibles,
Right.
even as recently as within the last couple of years when edibles became real easy to get here in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
I
Right.
was like, we'll just try this again. It's like lobster. I've
Right.
told this story a million times. It's like every 5 years I try lobster again. I go, everybody loves this critter. Why don't I like it? I'll try
Right.
it again. And I try
Right.
it and it makes me barf. And I'm like,
Yeah.
lobster's not for me. Well, this pot's not for me.
Right.
And no, and never, because of that, it never led to anything else, really.
Yeah.
Right.
When I was
Wow.
19, I binge drank alcohol. Binge drank on my 19th birthday. No, 21st birthday, excuse me. 21st birthday. Binge drank and woke up in the middle of the night with the atrial fibrillation, alcohol induced, and have had it
Yeah.
ever since. And so my cardiologist is basically like, if you drink anything, your heart's going to leap out of your chest out onto the street in front of
my
you. So,
Good
Yeah.
God.
so I don't drink. So
Wow.
Yeah, don't drink.
Yeah,
So
don't
you,
do that.
So you just have your music. Amazing.
I
Yeah.
really like sugar-free high C fruit punch.
Yep,
Yeah,
perfect.
right,
you
there
do.
you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm boring at parties. I got friends who actually just told me today, he's like, oh, I'm going to go. One of my friends said, I'm going to see your other two friends tonight. We've been hanging out. And I'm like, without me? And he's like, well, we hang out and mix cocktails.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys don't want a sober guy with you
Yeah.
while you get shit faced. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucked up in
A
itself,
mocktail. You can have a mocktail.
No, that's boring. You don't want to be that guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Give
I,
So what's
I
your,
don't
I'll tell you this, this is a foofy thing. My
Uh-huh.
favorite alcoholic mocktail is a virgin, what is it? Pina colada.
oh, there you
Oh,
go.
see?
Mm.
There you go.
Okay.
I like
At
that.
least,
sounds
at least it tastes good.
Frozen,
Yeah.
frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, what I would like to do when Luke's here is I would like for my brother and I to get into a 3-piece suit, eat a bag of mushrooms, give Luke the camera and say, now you sit here and you watch what's getting ready to happen.
Oh my
Poor
God.
Luke.
Why the 3-piece suit though?
Because it makes it business.
Oh, shit. Well,
I'm leaving that day, Luke, so you have
Yeah.
Oh
fun.
no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I'm
something.
leaving.
What comes with age is to know when to get the fuck out.
yeah.
You're going to sit here and watch us
I
turn
bet.
into fucking businessmen.
I bet Tracker Jack would hold the camera.
He would.
He'd be like,
put
"All
a
right,
suit
boys."
on and eat him his damn
He'd be
self.
like, all right,
No,
boys,
I'm
let
leaving.
the business take place.
We'll
As-
just lock him in the studio and we'll leave, Luke.
I need to
Yeah,
get to Brooks and
please.
Brothers right now. I'm going to make an appointment.
Speaking as someone who doesn't drink and who pot doesn't agree with, when all my friends are shit faced, it's really boring for me, so I tend to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boring and probably annoying is all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super.
Yeah,
annoying.
most of my friends are happy drunks.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Not like
stop
you.
you wanting to
not
slap
like
the
Lamont. Lamont's, I can tell
What?
he's
Yeah.
angry.
What? I'm not angry.
He is. He is.
No,
Luke.
when
not.
when
Angry
he's
son of a
when
bitch.
when
He gets
he's
mad, his voice drops an octave, and then it's
Yeah.
all
yeah,
over.
actually, when he's drunk, he's fucking hilarious.
I'll take
I
your word
just-
for it.
I just don't like when fucking Germans lie to me.
He's hilarious, and he gives random people his home address and telephone number.
Oh, shit. I remember
I'm
hearing
like,
about that.
what are you doing?
Call me. Call me. We have
Yeah.
more to talk about.
Yeah, I had to go take this person's phone and be like, "Oh no, that's the wrong phone number," and actually correct the phone number, which was correct, and put an incorrect phone number.
Right.
in
Oh
there.
my
Hey,
God.
hey, it's 5:54. I know you got to go, but there's one super important topic,
Yeah.
and that is the realization that tomorrow is fucking
Oh,
Popcorn
tomorrow
day.
is it.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
tomorrow
going
is
down,
popcorn
and we're going
night.
early.
It's like
We're-
it's Christmas is coming, and I'm more excited for this.
I know.
Did everyone
I couldn't
submit?
wait.
I think everybody's super excited. So we're waiting on Andy
of
and
course.
Fred.
Okay.
It's not Fred's fault. It's fucking Andy's fault.
It's yeah.
You know it is.
And then JRC and Viral Beats.
And Gracie says JRC is just as bad as the Andy.
Yeah.
If those two get together, we might as well not even count them in for the fucking popcorn.
Yeah,
night.
so just 2 more submissions.
Yeah.
I got-
Okay. And we.
That's
I got one more thing to interject about Andy. When you say Andy, you mean synthetic.
Yes.
Yes, synthetic. Uh-huh.
So I am always flummoxed by when I watch PSN or any of the UK synth things where synthetic is there as one of the talking heads. Because he's like the token American, and every time I hear all the British accents and then I hear him, it pulls me out of the I'm like in this contest where it's synths in euros and it's euro guys synths, and then synthetic chimes in and I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, you don't know
like,
shit.
this
You don't
doesn't
even
fit.
sound like you know anything.
Who brought the analytical scientist to
Well,
the
like, and Andy, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to diss you, but it's just like,
It's hilarious.
why don't
But
you just affect a British accent? Just fake it for a minute.
Yeah.
just fake it.
He's like one of those puzzles where it's like, okay, pick which one doesn't fit in here,
Yeah,
which one doesn't
one of these
belong.
things is not like the other.
Yeah,
Right.
it's him.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's doing a live stream at some Christmas thing tonight between 6 and 9 his time.
Oh, this is going to be fucking
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah. So West Coast time.
Yeah.
West Coast time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it'll be 9 here.
Before we sign off, I just got to say 2 quick things. We're starting Popcorn Jam at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here,
Yes.
55.5 S.O.R Radio.
On your FM dial.
The other thing is, please hurry up and get it in. The wife has a lot to do. So the sooner you can get it in, the better.
Yes.
The other thing is...
And I got your latest revision, Luke. I got the right one.
And stop with that shit, Luke.
You got to get it. You got to that YouTube compression, man. It fucks
Jesus.
everything up.
I
You
can't
gotta get
stand
just
it.
right.
Christ,
Yeah, I
man.
can't stand it.
The other thing is, and this is very, very, very important, and I want everybody to listen to this. Tracker Jack and Anna, fuck you.
There you go.
Geez.
All
See,
right.
there he
Well,
goes.
all
Oh,
right.
my God.
Okay.
All right.
Good
We can
grief.
end the show now.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, everybody,
Thank you. Thank
Hugs
you,
and
Luke.
kisses.
Yeah.
See you later.
Luke,
you
it
for
was
coming
awesome.
on.
Thank
It
you
was
for
awesome.
coming on and telling us that.
We got to do
really
this again.
sorry, everyone in the chat, for hearing me drone on.
Oh,
No,
Now
they
we know who
loved
Luke
it.
is.
They
And that's
loved
the
it.
whole point of it. We
Yeah.
got to finally
And
meet
we're definitely
who
doing this
Luke
again
is.
because I know Luke has a hell of a lot more stories.
for
He was
sure.
not
We got
wanting-
road stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Road stories.
Road
next
Story
time.
Edition.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next person who wants to be on the interview, please elect yourself so we don't have to do random drawings.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with this, a hint for the next road story. I'll tell you the story about the young woman I met whose fetish was licking my eyeballs.
Oh, why
Tell you
didn't
that
we
one.
lead off with
Tell you
that,
that one
Luke?
next time.
Okay.
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
Shit.
Bye, Luke.
All right, Luke.
Jesus, that was random.
Wow.
Okay, everybody, head over to JRC.
JRC.
Thanks for
and
showing
we
up.
will see everyone here tomorrow at 4.
Yeah, tomorrow
All right,
at 4 o'clock.
popcorn night tomorrow.
Popcorn night.